what happens when you get to kind of that climax? Because eventually there has to be a point where there's no more porn to satisfy, whatever your desire
Mm,
is.
wow, you brought up a really important question there. What does happen to that individual? So I've done 2 episodes on the podcast about human trafficking. January was National Human Trafficking Awareness Month. Um, you know, Human trafficking is the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world. Hundreds of billions of dollars are generated by the selling of humans for slaves, for sex, for organs. Now, why I bring this up? One of the biggest advocates, I guess, maybe Tim Ballard. He runs Operation Underground Railroad. He's got a couple documentaries out there. This is something I've heard him say. So he actually works with going into other countries, rescuing these children, rescuing these slaves, but then actually arresting the people that are involved in the act of crime. And one thing he's been able to do over the years of his work is when they get these guys that were purchasing children or purchasing women for sex, he gets to sit down and interrogate them. You'll like this because you, as a former interrogator. So obviously, one of the first questions you're going to ask them is, dude,
How'd you get
how did we end up here? How did we end up here? And these men are broken. And without fail, every single one of them, the story goes, well, it all started back when I was 5 years old. Well, it all started back when I was 10 and I saw my dad's pornography and I got hooked. And then the internet came out. And then I got hooked in this trap of internet pornography. And then I sought out more hardcore materials. Then I sought out the dark web where I could, find rape videos. Then I went and bought prostitutes. Then I was going to massage parlors. Then I was going to buy strippers to get the little extra whatever. And then it got to a point where the people that you're paying that are consenting for what you're doing won't do what you need. So what their brain is telling them is, hey, whatever you're trying to do here visually is not working anymore. Go try to emulate this in the flesh. Now, when they go and try to do it in the real material world with a woman that is consenting, she's going to say, no, what are you, out of your mind? That's creepy. That's weird. It's, why would I ever do that? So they have to resort to actually going purchasing a child or purchasing a slave. So I can link everything from human trafficking all the way back to pornography. But in my opinion, that image of a person buying a child for sex, we need to begin to see that as the homeless person that's got a drug problem. And we need to know, like, if we don't stop porn, if we don't really begin to raise our awareness of the dangers of this, we're going to have a society of men traveling the world trying to buy children to have sex with.
Dang. When you put it in that perspective, it definitely does change it, right? From this like, oh, it's harmless. I'm watching a video and they're consenting. They want to do this. She's getting paid for it. He's getting paid for it. It's an enterprise, right? Like it changes
Yeah,
that entire
we've
mindset.
tried to tell ourselves that it's consenting, but if anybody's paid attention to mainstream media for the past 6 weeks, the New York Times covered this, CNN covered this. There's been this massive push to take down Pornhub. There was at one point over 12 million videos on the Pornhub website. 10 million of those were unverified, undocumented. 10 million of 12 million. That's like, what is that? That's over 80% of the content on there. Now, why do I say undocumented, unverified? Because that means anybody in the world with an internet access can take a video that they have. It doesn't matter where that video came from. It doesn't matter if that person in the video was consenting, and they could upload it to the Pornhub. Now with Pornhub, I can put in a search term, and if they've been clever with that, I could be watching a video that in my brain, oh, it's just two people consenting having sex. That could be a rape. That could be a child rape. That could be a forced slave. So I think that is not a lot of what I do, with the coaching side of things. This is more an awareness piece here. I've spoken at human trafficking events about the dangers of pornography, exactly what I shared with you here. But that's what I see. And when I talk about it in that way, understanding that it is fueled and driven by a strong force of evil.